Good morning. I hope you're having a great start to your week. Just wanted to come on really quickly and talk about this as I posted just the other day, asking if you've been in a relationship that really shook your ability to trust, right? And really did a number on you, right? And I got a lot of responses that, it really made it hard for me to trust again in relationships after being burned so badly. And the thing is that there's a reason why maybe you felt like you could fix things, that you worked so much harder, like you invested so much of your energy into this person or the relationship far beyond what was maybe reasonable now looking back on, what the realities were. But in that moment, you truly felt like this was something worth saving, that this person was worth being with, that they deserved your energy and your time and attention and love, right? So there was something about this dynamic with this person that maybe had you going against some of your own gut feelings, or had you feeling like it was familiar, and so it was justified, or you found ways to justify it to yourself in that moment. And hopefully you've had a little bit of chance to do some retrospection and realize that, that person that you were with, or the dynamic that was created with the two of you together, just was not healthy, right? And if you haven't, then that's something to explore, right? Maybe you're still feeling like you could save the relationship, or that you didn't do enough, or if you'd done more of this or that or the other, or if you were just better. That's something that you need to really reflect on and maybe do some work on in therapy. So the difference between wanting to invest in something that the other person is also equally wanting to invest in, willing to do the work, that's worth that energy, right? But so many times we get caught up in this situation where we get stuck in a way of thinking that doesn't allow us to kind of see the bigger picture, right? So that's what therapy can be really great for, is to help you gain some perspective and be able to look at it from a different angle. And when you can do that, it often is enough to sort of break that stuckness, that knot that you're in, so that it no longer has that same energy to it, right? And then when the energy is no longer needed for that, that's when you can utilize that energy to really get to know yourself better, to really explore who you are, what your needs and wants are, and maybe unravel some of the things that are kind of holding you back from really feeling like you can engage in healthy ways in a relationship with someone else. So whether that's, setting up boundaries, whether that's better communication, because here's the thing, we only have the power to work on ourselves and to, do that growth and healing for ourselves. When we do that, we either encourage the people around us to sort of level up, or we basically create some boundaries and some barriers for our own energy, right? To protect our own energy. So lots of benefits come from doing that work for ourselves and on ourselves. And so it doesn't have to, like, people have this idea that therapy is going to take years, and I don't have time for that, and I don't want to go sit in someone's office for like an hour each week or every other week or whatever. And here's the thing. studies show that that kind of therapy can be somewhat helpful in the respect that it is helpful to have someone to talk to and vent to and to bounce ideas off of and whatnot. That is helpful. But when you're dealing with knots, when you're dealing with stuckness, what's really, really beneficial is to find the place where those knots exist, which is the subconscious mind, and work from that place, right? So that if all we're doing ever in our talk therapy is conscious mind thinking, this is my belief about this, this is my idea of this is my best guess of why I feel so terrible, when really the answers lie deeper inside of us, and the right kind of therapy can really help us tap into that. And it's very much client-led, and it's very much, their own journey to take. And so the right therapy, the right dynamic can really help a person do that internal work. And so if you're curious about this, or if you're feeling like you aren't sure what kind of therapy you would like, but you'd like to learn more, just feel free to reach out. I do a free consultation, and we can just talk about what's going on for you, and then we can decide whether the work that I do would be beneficial or not, and whether we're a good fit, because I think that's important too. And I think that's often lost in the engagement with the medical community as it is, in that it's very rigid. It's like you have some choice sometimes depending on where you live and what your medical system is like, and insurance and whatnot. But often it's like, okay, so I reach out for help. I know I need some mental health help, and my provider will refer me to someone, or depending on your insurance, maybe they're telling you need to work within this certain group. And then you try to find a therapist that you connect with, or that you feel comfortable enough sharing your innermost thoughts, and you don't really get to know that person before you're sort of thrust into their office. And it's like, okay, here's your person, now go unload and work through your stuff, right? And it's like, well, I don't know this person. So that's part of the reason why I do these videos, is that to share my perspective on different relationship dynamics that I see coming up in my work with my clients, and also so that you get a chance to get to know me and know who I am before we even talk, right? Often people will call up and we'll do the free consultation, and they already know that they want to work with me because they've seen what I'm about, right? And they can sense, hopefully, through these videos, that I'm genuine and caring, and that I really want to help people where they're at, and not just help them where they're at, but also allow them the agency to do the work in the way that makes sense for them, because I think that's really important, right? And so if this sounds like it's interesting to you, then please feel free to reach out. If you'd like to share your thoughts on how you've rebuilt trust after maybe a betrayal in a relationship, maybe it's a betrayal in a relationship that you stayed in, or maybe you're having, maybe you had trouble regaining trust after the relationship had ended, and you're trying to, engage in new relationships. How did you do that, if you did it? And if you haven't really gotten to that place, maybe you want to share privately, feel free to PM me. We can talk over Messenger, right? So other than that, I just want to say have a great rest of your day. Namaste.